Okay, I think we're all set up.
All right.
Let's get it set up over here. I wonder if the video will play over here. Remember how it's been freezing?
I hope so.
All right, people are here with us. Terry Burdick says hi there. Hi, Terry. Let's give Terry more of a shout out later when there's more of a crowd with us.
Absolutely.
Because Terry helped a lot as we got this jam.
Yes, she
order,
did.
Right?
Big way.
All right, 9 people here with us. Tony Krendler is watching.
Hey, Tony.
My phone says. All right. Yeah, this video freezes every time, but I think the comments keep coming.
We need to do some research.
I think
on
we
that.
do.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys are doing okay. We're glad to be back with our jam thing, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, the turkeys say happy Thanksgiving and thanks for joining us.
This is my heirloom. My Aunt Sue made this for me when I was in high school, so I've had it that long.
The one in the middle.
Yeah, he's lost some of his parts.
Oh,
I think he used to have a bottom beak as well.
okay.
But yeah.
Still looks like a turkey.
Yeah.
And his little friends, our friend Lena gave us a long time ago. We love to get them out every Thanksgiving.
So anyway, hope
Right,
you guys are all going to have a big and safe Thanksgiving.
Yes, we've got 19 people out there with us, and the comments do seem to keep coming, even as the video feed doesn't keep working. I'd just love to get a better expression on my face than that one, if it's going to be frozen, distracting us.
As you can tell, we never increase in our technological ability from one jam to another.
Well, it's different every time.
Yeah.
It just is. Okay,
All
we go.
Here we go.
All right, we're going to be jamming tonight in the key of A. Hope you're game for that. Beth is going to keep her capo on at the 2nd fret the whole time. I'm going to keep my fiddle tuned to cross A tuning. A, E, the whole time. There's some different chord situations and different banjo tuning situations that we'll discuss at various points along the set list, but you don't need to plan on reconfiguring your instruments.
Right.
If I were playing the banjo, I would be in the open A major tuning right now.
And this tune will have a, what is E minor with the capo on?
Oh right, we've got a minor in
We have
this
a minor
first
in
tune.
this first tune, and it'll be this, what is
Yeah,
that?
the 6 minor.
6 minor.
Relative minor.
Thank you.
E minor shape for Beth, F sharp minor if you're playing without a capo or thinking in actual letter names.
It's real brief. Yeah. And I want, I don't know if he's watching tonight, but if our friend Rob Daves is watching, I want to send this out to him because he used to sing this song with our band, the Wednesday Night Back Porch String Band. So,
Long time ago.
So out to Rob Daves.
Yep, we're going to play Boatman. There are a lot of different Boatmans out there, but this is just the regular old Boatman 3-part version with that minor chord in the 3rd part.
And as usual, we won't sing, but those of you who like to sing, there are several verses to this tune.
Feel free. We can't hear you.
All right.
All right.
Funny. I have to go get a piece of equipment.
Oh, sure. No worries. Boatman dance, Boatman sing, Boatman do most anything, something like that, right? That's a good old number. All right. Oh, you're getting your yoga block. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Greta Witcher is watching with us.
Hey, Greta Witcher.
Hi, Greta. William College
made
a nice comment. Hi, William.
You just had a birthday.
Yes.
I remember.
Happy belated. All right. Mary Sue Burns is there.
Hey, Mary Sue.
Yeah.
We were just talking about you. So, what was we were talking about? Oh, did you guys used to live in Lexington, Virginia?
Right, that question came up.
That question came up yesterday.
Yes. All right. Moving right along, 5 Miles of Ellum Wood is a wonderful tune collected by Bruce Green in Kentucky. I can't remember the name of the fiddler he got this from. If you know, put that in the comments. But this seems to have become a super popular tune in old-time jams in just the past number of years.
We're going to play it slower than usual, right?
Right, not breakneck. And this is one of those tunes that has a little bit of that modal note in it. A little bit of that G natural, but that doesn't necessarily call for a G major chord or a 7 chord, if you want to think of it that way. Beth is just going to do the usual 1, 4, 5, and we like that sound better, and it's a little easier too. We like things easy.
Forget that 7 chord, right?
Yeah, when possible. I think we're forgetting it all night, aren't we?
I believe we are.
Yeah. All right, 5 Miles of Ellum Wood.
It's fine.
It is? Pix? Capo?
Mirror.
Mirror. Oh, okay. Hilarious.
I thought it was one of those
I
candles.
was worried it was one of the candles too. They pop out at random moments.
They inject themselves.
Yep, self-destruct.
Self-destruct themselves over time. We've had to buy like 2 boxes every time they replace the ones that kill themselves.
That's right.
So sorry for the distraction there.
Just makes things a little more interesting.
What did Mary Sue say? Did she say?
Let's see. Any response from Mary Sue?
Thought she did.
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Well done.
Shout out to Gary, Amy, and Kenny up in the Hudson Valley.
Hey.
Sandy Parks.
Hey, Sandy.
Yay.
Oh, Sandy has her annual calendar. I'll do you a public service announcement. She does a wonderful calendar of photographs she's taken through the years, and I believe her final date for ordering it is this week.
Oh, okay. Put your order in now. Beautiful photography.
Maybe say a little more about it in the comments, Sandy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ellie Nickman says someone on Facebook must have broken a string when that noise happened. Yeah, I like that explanation the best of all. That's terrific. Cody from Mississippi is out there. Hey, Cody.
How's your cello?
Yeah.
I hope you've been able to get it. Well, was it repairable?
Not clear.
We weren't sure about that.
Not clear.
Poor guy.
Josh Levin in Michigan with son Sawyer enjoying the music. Glad you guys are here. Oh, Mary Sue missed the question because her internet chose that moment to freeze. Ask her again. Mary Sue, did you once live in Lexington, Virginia?
Yeah, you and Mike, because we were talking with a friend who lived in Lexington about the same time that Bruce Molsky and Brad Leftwich and all those guys were there, and she thought that you and Mike lived there at that time, too.
Yeah, she thought she recognized your names from that period in time.
Yeah.
All right.
So we said we didn't know, but we would find out.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, time for a new tune. No A-Jam would be complete without a version of Cluck Old Hen, right? Well, we're not going to do the normal version or anything like it, but this is a pretty user-friendly version. If you haven't heard John Ashby's Cluck Old Hen, John Ashby, fiddler from Northern Virginia, of all unlikely places. And it sounds a little bit like Cluck Old Hen, pretty thickly disguised. It's like Cluck Old Hen put in a fully major key. And we're going to play the short B part 4 times, not 3, which we've sometimes heard people do, not 2, because it's just over too quickly that way. that fun to play?
So how many do we know? 3 Cluck Old Hens?
Well, the normal Cluck Old Hen,
the Paul
Brown Cluck Old Hen, this Cluck Old Hen.
Is there another one?
I'm sure there are other ones, but those might be all the ones we've learned.
That's all we got so far. Anybody else got a Cluck Old Hen?
Maybe we need to collect some others. Let us know your favorite Cluck Old Hen in the comments for future use, perhaps. All right, the comments are still coming in. Nikki in Ohio is tuning in.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Donna Feldman. Hey, Donna.
Hey, Donna. Adam has not made any macarons lately, so but we're holding the food coloring in reserve.
Yes. Mary Sue Burns. Mike lived in Lexington, and she met him there.
Well.
Okay. How about that? I don't know if Terry Burdick is still watching or listening, but Terry, there's your answer.
Yeah. Now we know.
All right. Cody chimes in about the cello.
Yeah.
Cello was not repairable, but insurance came through, and he was able to get a replacement. He's playing it now.
All right.
Good. I wish we could hear you playing that
Story
now.
ended up happier than it could have been.
Yes. Barb Schmid.
For those of you who don't know, poor Cody's cello was run over and smushed at Clifftop by a runaway truck.
Yeah, totally inadvertently. The truck did not have anyone in the cab at the time.
And
very scary and sad.
Cody lived to tell the tale. The truck did not. The cello did not.
I wonder if the truck did.
We wonder if the truck
got
did,
taken to the junkyard after
we
that.
don't know. Poor Cody. But at least we got to meet him because of it.
That's
we wouldn't have met him otherwise.
That's right. Amanda down the street is tuning in.
Hey, Amanda. Happy Thanksgiving.
Barb Schmid, hope you're playing along, Barb.
Hey, Todd. Tell Cecil hello.
Terry says thank you. She is listening. Okay. All right,
onward
we go. We like to mix chestnuts in with lesser-known tunes in these Facebook Jam lists. Hope you're still all right with that mixture. We promise to not include anything too terribly weird. This next one is a little bit of a borderline tune because it is a chestnut, but Beth plays really special chords for it.
Beth doesn't know why Beth plays these chords.
That's how you learned them.
That's how I learned them when I was living in Charlotte.
That's right. The tune is Little Billy Wilson.
I don't know who I learned it from.
Anybody like Little Billy Wilson out
Little
there?
Billy?
Yeah, 3-part tune. I'm not going to do anything unusual with the melody. The structure is as usual, but the timing of Beth's changes is what's special. It's just the 1, 4, and 5. Why don't we play through it once slowly so that everyone can see and hear your changes, and then we'll speed it up. Part. Hold it. Resolve. Repeat. C part. Hold it. Hold it. Repeat. Love those chords that way. All those long-held chords that kind of create tension against the melody, I think, are so cool.
Well, thank you. I have no idea.
But you learned that way a long time ago.
I didn't understand that they were not the right chords until I played somewhere other than Charlotte when I was living in Charlotte, and then I was told, like, where'd you get those chords?
Right.
I don't know.
I
don't even know what the supposed to chords are.
A lot of more frequent changes.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people put in some minor, maybe like a 2 minor or something, but I never really enjoyed that.
Well, there's a lot to be said for going with the flow, but there's also something to be said for doing it your own way.
Yes, that's right. All right, Little Billy Wilson, a little bit faster. We've got a nice crowd now, 62 people out there jamming along, we hope. This isn't a concert, this is a jam.
They're like we are, it's like the last time for fun before the holidays.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I could just play that forever with those chords. Isn't that cool?
I get so cracked up. When we play, we practice, I don't know, 3 or 4 times before we do these jams, and we don't play them much otherwise. And then when we sit down and do them, Adam always puts stuff in there that he'd never put in practice, and it just makes me laugh. And sometimes it makes me lose my place because it's like, whoa,
sometimes it makes me lose my own
That's
place.
really cool, and I haven't heard him do that before. So yeah, keeps me on my toes.
Well, that's one of the many things I like about those chestnut tunes, those really standard, commonly played tunes that we've all known forever. There's so much you can do with them, right? Because a lot of them didn't really come from any one source, and so they don't have a super specific melody. They have sort of landmark notes and then a lot of flexibility in between those landmarks.
Right. Well, you're getting ready to do one of my most favorites.
Yeah, you asked for this to be included on the list. This is another tune collected by Bruce Green, but we learned it from our friend Michelle Yu, wonderful fiddler now in the San Francisco area. It's called Say Old Man, I Want Your Daughter, according to some, and Say Old Man, Can I Have Your Daughter, according to others. Yeah. I'm not sure I remember which is the
Just to be politically correct, we just call it Say Old Man.
Say Old Man.
Right.
Period.
Period.
But not to be confused with that other Say Old Man, Can You Play the Fiddle?
Which is
Robertson.
7 parts.
Yeah, 7 parts.
Right, yeah,
E.
we're not going to inflict you with 7 parts.
No, what a great tune that is, though.
Yeah.
But this is a good tune, too. This is kind of a short and simple tune. The melody isn't all that surprising, but maybe the structure is a little surprising. So, the A part... I sort of think of as a half-length part with like endings 1 and 2, so repeating here, but it's not quite the same. Maybe better to think of it as a full-length part. Here's the final phrase. And that's it for the A part. No more A part. And then B part, short. That's it. And it repeats again and again. 3 B parts is the way that we learned it.
If you think about it, it's the Maybe it's the old man in the first part and it's the daughter in the second part.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, hadn't thought about
be.
it that way.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, see if you can hear the subjects of the title in the tune. And thanks to Michelle for sharing such a great tune with us many, many years ago.
I could play that tune all night.
It's really nice, isn't it?
I love when it comes back around to the drama part.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like many people out there play that. Were you familiar with that tune?
Yeah.
If not, share it with your jamming community.
Anything we need to be aware of over there?
Let's find out. Sue and Bruce from Toronto just tuned in. That's all right. You didn't miss too much. We just played our fifth tune. That's right. You can rewind later if you're really curious.
Did I see Hillary Burhands?
Yes, Hillary Burhands is watching.
Also deserves a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hillary.
Happy special birthday.
That's right.
To Hillary.
One of those round number things.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, now we need to talk about the next tune. This is a little bit of a pet peeve for me. We're going to play the special version of Chinquapin hunting that isn't that 3-part one, which I think we have included in one of these programs before. It's the 2-part version that I've been able to trace back as far as Art Stamper. His father, Hiram, played something kind of like it, but I think Art sort of straightened it out and created the tune that we know today. Now, for reasons that I don't really understand, this tune seems to have been circulating through the old-time community as a D tune. Well, the chord progression is strange, and if we were judging just based on it, it might be hard to say what
and
key
each
it's
part
in.
only has 2 chords.
That's right.
Pretty much.
I think that's true.
I think that's right.
Yeah, which is funny. So the A part, the part that we think of as the A, I've heard it played the other way around, starts on the E chord. So maybe some people would argue it's in the key of E. I wouldn't say that it is. That part resolves to the A chord. The B part of the tune starts on the D chord and resolves to the A chord. So maybe people are hearing key of D in that B part. I don't know. But here's the funny thing. We went back and listened to the Art Stamper CD recording, which we'll say something else about shortly. On that recording, it sure sounded to me like he was playing in standard tuning, but that whole album was a little more bluegrassy than some of his, and I'm not sure if he was cross-tuning much or at all at that time. But there's a really interesting video on YouTube of him playing this same tune in a jam session at Clifftop. And you can clearly tell from the fingering that he was in cross A tuning there.
Fascinating.
And that video, I think, was my introduction to the tune when I first started trying to learn it before the album version. And so I saw his fingering and I figured out that it was cross A tuning. And to me, it's just always been an A tune. And I guess part of him thought it was an A tune as well. Beth isn't going to adjust her capo, and usually when she plays in D, she takes the capo off. Right. So that's another suggestion that it's not an A tune. Well, why don't you say your funny thing about the recording, and then maybe we can play it through once slowly, and then I want to demonstrate a little something on the banjo. Well, banjo players don't retune, please.
This is from a recording of Art Stamper. It was a tape I had, I think. I don't think
it probably CD. First came out on tape.
And it's called The Lost Fiddler, and it's got a lot of really good tunes on it. However, whenever he made that, which I think was in the early 80s.
82, I think we discovered.
82, when he made that. For whatever reason, that particular year, it was, I don't care what kind of music it was popular to have a clap track in it. So clap, clap. And that is in the Art Stamper recording. It's the dumbest thing you've ever heard. Adam thought it might have been a mandolin chop.
Well, see, we listened across several tracks from that recording because I had felt the same way. What is that percussion on that? It sounds so bad. I think that track was maybe not as well mixed as some of the others, because on some of the other tracks on the same album, you can hear a mandolin chop, like a bluegrass-style mandolin. But on this one, there's like no tone.
It's really hard to ignore.
Loud.
So
check out his Chinquapin hunting and see if you think it sounds like a clap track in the background.
So don't let that one track discourage you from the rest of the CD as well, because it's a good CD and there's a lot of
interesting tunes.
Very interesting tunes on it. So anyway, but it's pretty funny.
All right, we're going to play it once round, and so we're thinking of it as an A tune. I suggest that you think in terms of the number system. So A part is starting on the 5 chord and resolving to the 1 chord. B part is kind of the other way. It's starting on the 4 chord and resolving to the 1 chord. And if you think of it as an A tune, those resolutions to 1 will make a lot of sense, even if the way the parts start is a little strange. Real slowly the first time. right, so that's how easy it is to deal with in the cross A tuning. That B part just basically plays out of that 4-chord double stop thing. But now, banjo players, if you're worried about dealing with this in the open A tuning, you just don't need to be. I don't think it's any harder here than it is in double D. So, it's weird to give you a view of the banjo. That's one of the many reasons why we don't include banjo in these jams. Just too hard to get it in the frame. No, that's all right. So, try your A part orienting around that 5-7 shape. To the open strings. Something like that. Then the B part is one of those cases where you don't have enough notes on the bottom end to really play it low like the fiddle does. So try orienting around your 4-chord shape and using 5th string for some melody notes so you're not all the time having to jump up to the 5th fret. Instance. See, not bad to play in the open A tuning. And if this comes up in your jam circles as a D tune, maybe engage the people in charge of the tune choice in some conversation about whether it could also be thought of as an A tune and whether it might be fun to try it that way with the instruments tuned differently. I think it has a really different character when it's in standard tuning and double D and with the capo off. Not necessarily in a good or a bad way, but just different.
Let's see if anybody has any questions.
Yes, I guess we should. Good call. There are 73 people tuned in right now. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, very.
All right. Let's see. No questions or comments about that.
Okay.
All right, let's play it. What a fun tune this is. Art Stamper's Chinquapin hunting. Hope you enjoyed that, maybe in a different key or just sort of mindset from your norm.
Any thoughts?
All right, no thoughts so far.
So this next tune, Adam will tell you all about it and everything, but one thing I wanted to say in advance of it is if any of you have ever wanted to attempt doing fiddlesticks, I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but it's when you take a couple of, I guess they usually use knitting needles or something.
Chopsticks, maybe?
Chopsticks, yeah, chopsticks would be good. And you want to play the fiddlesticks while he's playing the fiddle. You use this against it. This is probably the best tune I've ever heard for doing fiddlesticks. Yeah.
It's the right kind of tune for sure.
If you've been hankering to try fiddlesticks, check it out on this tune.
That's right. Fiddlers, if you got somebody else with you right now who could do the fiddlesticks, they'll stay out of your hand's way for the most part. I want to double check my tuning while I get ready to introduce the tune.
I also remember this tune as being a big competition tune when I was first starting to go around to the festivals. Sort of equivalent to John Brown's Dream, and how much it was used, as a competition tune.
Well, and it actually has various elements in common with John Brown's Dream. The tune is Jimmy Johnson, and the version we're going to do is from Melvin Wine of West Virginia. So it's a 4-part tune, and the first 3 parts kind of sound like each other. 2 of them are high, 1 of them is low. Let me think, the A part and the C parts pretty much are like each other. The A is high and the C is low. But then he has this kind of magical D part that's totally different from the others and has a lot more going on for the chords, and that just brings the tune back around to the top.
I probably should apologize in advance because I always go to one chord sooner than I should.
That's okay. You'll get
I'll do
it
my
fine.
best not to.
You'll get it fine.
I'll get it.
Can I hear your G shape, please? Okay, that's fine after all. So, Jimmy Johnson from Melvin Wine. Hope you enjoy this.
First time ever.
Hey,
yeah.
This is when it counts.
I guess so.
Isn't that fun? Jimmy Johnson from Melvin Wine. Love that.
Anybody ever play that? Who's out there tonight? Play that in competition?
Yeah, might be a good one to revive in that milieu.
Yeah.
All right, here comes another bit of a quiz tune. Lonesome John is the tune from John Salyer. I've often wondered if that's autobiographical in title. And it's got more than just that usual modal note, that G natural. It's also got the minor note, the C natural, something like that scale. And so a lot of banjo players hear that type of scale and think, oh, I've got to retune to the sawmill tuning. Well, it's not that big a retune. So if that's really what you're comfortable doing, be our guest. However, Beth is going to leave the capo on. And do you know how you would play a G minor shape? No, I didn't think so.
That's not on my guitar.
Exactly. Yeah. That chord is not on your guitar, and it wouldn't be on mine either. So she's going to play the usual major chords, 1, 4, and 5, not any 7 chord, none of that. I'm not going to retune the fiddle, but I am going to alter my fingering a little bit to bring out the minor and the modal notes. Let me give you a little example of how on the banjo you could not retune. I'm still in A major tuning. Boy, this banjo needs new strings. I brought it out because I thought the fingerboard would be a little easier to read. So, see how I'm just covering up that second string, and I'm using that note in the melody every now and then, but that's the string that really makes this tuning sound major. To the end of the phrases, if you want to jibe with Beth's guitar when the melody isn't really doing anything, don't be shy about brushing the open strings. That tension between major and minor is often a really cool thing. And if all the instruments are doing the same thing, everybody doing major or everybody doing minor, it can be a little bland, I think.
Well, dissonance has been in style for a while now.
Yes. All right. Ah, Andy from Indiana is there. How nice to see you with us. All right, Smack is watching.
Hi, Smack.
From Minnesota. Hi, Smack. Wish you were here jamming with us
Boy, howdy.
one day soon, with any luck.
It's only a quarter away.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Lonesome John, major chords, minor melody, banjo maybe splitting the difference in some way. Lonesome John. Love that with the major chords behind it.
Yeah.
Hope you did too.
Huh.
All right, time for something a little more common, although isn't this a bit of a blast from the past for you?
He had to really work on me to get me to do this one because years ago, I must have played this 911 billion times.
911 billion,
At
that's
least.
a big number.
At least that many times, and I was a little tired of it. But it's been a long time, and it's a good tune. I mean, no wonder I played it 911 billion times because it's a good tune.
So you agree that it's a good tune, you were just tired of it?
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much.
Okay.
But it's fresh again.
Yes, yes. Crow Creek is the tune. This was one of the first tunes that I learned to play on the fiddle forever ago, and I've really liked it ever since, but it seems to have fallen out of favor. Back at that time, it was very commonly played, and I hardly ever hear it played nowadays. I believe, tell me out there if you know whether this is correct or I'm wrong, that the old recording of this, which was maybe collected by Gary Harrison or Chirp Smith in Southern Illinois, was in D, and somewhere along the line it got moved up to A. That's familiar to you too? Yeah, I think maybe I've been told that, but correct me if I'm wrong, or clarify that if you know the real deal. But I've always known it as an A tune, and it's so great in the cross A tuning because it uses the whole tuning without being that difficult a tune to play. So, Crow Creek, I'm happy to bring this back.
And don't blister it.
No, not too fast.
Yeah,
Nothing too fast in these online
We
games.
get a little carried away sometimes, though.
Every now and then, but not according to the metronome, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, it
You
wouldn't
say
be
so.
that huge a number. Let's get that back into circulation.
I'm getting used to it again.
Let's make Crow Creek popular again.
Yeah, right.
I was traveling back in time in my mind while we were playing that tune, back to when I was first starting to learn to play the fiddle in St. Paul, Minnesota, my hometown, and I remember sitting at my fiddle teacher, Becca Schaefer's kitchen table, and she was right over there, and I was right here, and she was doing call and response with me on the phrases for Crow Creek, and she liked to do that timing thing in the A part that I was sometimes doing, instead of keeping it kind of dense and regular. She liked to bring this in along about here, with some longer notes. So thanks, Becca, for that tune a long time ago and all the rest of your help. Hope we can play that together one day. All right, moving right along.
Didn't I teach you this tune?
You taught me this
I
tune.
did.
Speaking of tune sourcing and traveling back in time in minds,
Yeah.
yes, I remember that humming method
The humming method,
experience a
because
long time ago.
I don't play the fiddle or the banjo. So.
I keep telling Beth that she'd make a great fiddle or banjo player because she knows how all of these tunes go and she can really hum them. Maybe better banjo than fiddle.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
You said that I wouldn't want me to be playing the fiddle. That it might send me to the loony bin.
It might. I think it's a constant struggle. I don't know how other fiddlers out there feel.
I don't know.
I think you might have
But I
fun
sort of
with a banjo
fantasize.
player.
I kind of fantasize about it.
About playing the fiddle?
Yeah, sort
Oh,
of,
really?
yeah.
Well, you know the tunes.
Yeah, right.
There is that. All right, this is one of the several versions of Camp Chase, but this is a really lesser-known one. I feel like Camp Chase from Burl Hammons, right?
I think
Camp
so.
Chase from Burl Hammons.
You know me, I'm not a source person.
There's this, and maybe there are other Hammons camp chases, I don't know, but the more common ones are the Carpenter camp chases from a completely different part of the state of West Virginia, and the melodies aren't really related that I can tell. I think this one is more straightforward than the Carpenter camp chases.
Can I say something about
Yes.
the timing of
Please.
it? This one, to me, it really, really needs, Adam can translate what I'm saying a little better, but it really needs some very stylized timing on this one. To
A lot of
get
space.
A lot of space in this tune. Not fast, it's not a fast tune, and it's just like a lot of West Virginia tunes, it's a very eerie tune. And it's kind of neat to put yourself in that headspace, you know, with that you're think of yourself sort of back in the woods and playing this and telling a story with it. Sort of, I don't know, better way to say it. Now you want to translate what I'm
No,
talking
that's
about?
a good way to think of it. We're not going to play it very fast. The A part is a little bit elongated. The B part is a half-length part, and it's totally square, but it's really in that A part where you'll hear moments where the fiddle kind of lands on a note and sits there for a while, and she may or may not keep her picking patterns as dense as usual. So experiment with letting the instrument ring. I think you do a little bit of that in the B part, even though my notes kind of keep going. So if you notice her right hand just interrupting, that's purposeful.
Yeah, it's not going to be a steady boom chuck at all.
I mean, it can be.
It could be, but it's
more
better,
interesting
but
if
it's
it's
more
not.
interesting if you try to space it a little bit.
Yeah. All right, let me talk about the structure of the tune as I understand it. So A part, phrase 1 with pickups. Phrase 2 over the 5 chord, different melody but really similar shape. And then phrase 3, pretty close to phrase 1. You could get away, I think, with playing the same thing in that phrase. Then, this should be the final phrase, but it's not. It's the next to last phrase. And then final phrase. So 5 phrases for that part, but each of the phrases is the standard length. Then that all repeats. Then it's time for the short B part. That's its first phrase, and then the final phrase of B is the same as that of A. Being a little inconsistent about out. My phrase starts downbeat or pickup beat. Sorry about that. But the point is that final phrase of the two parts is identical. But the parts are such different lengths, 5 phrases for A, 2 phrases for B, it can throw you off that a recycled phrase from A comes along quite as soon as it does in B.
So we're going to keep it pretty slow.
Nice and slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can be played faster, but...
Yeah, we like to do it slow. I love to play it really slow on the banjo.
eerie.
Yeah, but beautiful at the same time. The other camp chase is kind of eerie and scary at the same time. I don't think this is scary. All right. Just scrolling through. People seem to be enjoying the selections.
Good.
Oh, there's been confirmation of Crow Creek originally being done in D.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I remember that.
Yes, thanks for that.
Yeah.
All right. We have 2 tunes left to share. One more normal tune and then a waltz at the end.
So we had a sort of an unusual experience in terms of us doing these jams. Like I said, we practiced 3 or 4 times ahead of time, so we don't completely, crash and burn when we're live. And
so that we know that we've picked reasonable tunes.
Yeah, right.
Not tunes that we struggled to play.
We had the pleasure of having a banjo player come in and practice them all with us.
It's time for that shout out that I promised earlier.
Yeah, you promised a shout out.
Yes.
So it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to hear how the banjo approached it, and stuff. So for our banjo player, this tune was the one that captured their interest the most.
Yes.
Of the whole evening.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So maybe that's worth something to you banjo players out there. And shout out to our good friend and wonderful banjo player Terry Burdick for helping us refine these tunes and jamming on them with us the other night. That was a lot of fun.
Sure was.
So the tune that Terry really liked, and the tune that we both were pretty excited to include on the list.
The tune that when we used to play dances, the dancers, this was one of the most popular tunes that we ever did for dances.
With a modification.
They loved it.
Yes. So. It's Garfield.
Not Garfield.
Not Garfield's Blackberry Blossom, not Garfield's March, not any of that. Just Garfield. And I didn't really know anything about it until we went to Slippery Hill the other day. Slippery Hill is such a fabulous resource, and discovered that it's a Georgia tune from Emory Bailey, maybe? Does that sound like
you're the research person on this?
Don't quote me on that, but definitely from Georgia. And we listened to the file, and it is indeed the same tune. It's a funny tune, great for dances with a modification.
Those of you who play dances, take a note.
The reason why I think it's so great for dances is because the parts are so different from each other, and the A part starts on the 4 chord, the C shape for Beth, the D chord, and that's always very dramatic when the top of the tune doesn't have the chord that you associate with the key that you're playing in. Now, the modification is when you're restarting from B part number 2 to A part number 1, the tune has a little extra thing there. It's not even really melody, it's just a breath. And yeah, exactly. Like and you'll hear it in the bowing, and you'll hear it in the guitar strumming, and that would not work out for a dance. And so when we used to play this for dances, we deleted that extra thing and just connected the parts to each other smoothly. That works fine too, but we're going to do it crooked, and the old recording on Slippery Hill did it crooked as well. But this is the easiest kind of crookedness to deal with, a little something extra at the very end of the tune. Garfield on the 4 chord. that fun? Anybody out there know that tune? I wonder how widely circulated it is. I think not very. But every now and then we spring it on people and they're like, oh, that. I remember that.
It was popular back in like the mid-90s.
Was it?
You know, something like that. Yeah,
okay.
As I recall.
Interesting.
Does anybody else recall?
Let's see if anybody else recalls. Susie Owens in Australia says Garfield is great on banjo. Glad you like that one, Susie.
You want to see Steve Haley's name?
Let's see. Yes, Steve Haley is watching. Hi, Steve. No Ed Haley tunes on the list tonight.
Not tonight.
We've done them before and we'll do them again. Oh, how strange. Sue in Canada says, we just lost the feed during Camp Chase. Says this live video ended. It will be available soon. That's very strange. Well, clearly it's still working for other viewers. Sue, you'll have to let me know if you were able to get the rest of it later on. Sorry for the interruption. Virginia in Chicago is there with Piper. Yay. Hi, y'all. Okay, public service announcement. We've got tip jar links at the top of the comment thread and hopefully at the top of the post as well. If you're feeling so inspired, there they are, but no pressure. We love to do these no matter what. They're nice to get us in practice.
Keeps us in practice,
yes. That's
definitely.
Right. We're continuing to try to include a waltz in every program by popular request, and that forces us to think a little bit outside of the box when we're in a key and tuning like cross A. I don't feel like there are that many A waltzes, which is a shame. So, did you come up with this idea, or did I? You came up with this idea.
So.
Okay. We don't know if this is normally done in A because it's a singing song. But we're going to do it as an instrumental tune. It's the Tennessee Waltz. Do you know how that goes? We figured you might know it in your heads, even if you may not know it on the instruments.
We're hoping you know it in your heads because it's got some kind of bizarre chords in it. So,
yeah, we decided to spice it up with some passing chords that don't have to be there, but they might make it a little more fun. Right? Now, all bets are off if guitarists out there are playing without the capo.
That's right. We tried it without the capo. We couldn't figure them out.
No, we couldn't figure out all the changes.
The chords that it needs are not on my guitar, so I'm sorry.
That's right.
We did try.
Just like I say that the F note for the key of F is not on this fiddle. I just don't have it at all.
But we did try.
We did. But I think it's going to be a lot easier for everybody with the capo on. So let's go over the tune slowly with the funny progression. Now Beth is going to play ordinary chords for the A part or the verse, if you think of it that way. You might throw in like a G7 shape.
So any unusual shape in the A part that's a D7 position, but it's not a D7.
Right, 5-7.
Yeah.
5-7.
7.
Roman numeral 5, Arabic numeral 7. Or a 1-7.
Or a 1-7.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the only unusual chords in the A part.
Yeah, and she won't be consistent about those, and you don't have to be
I'm pretty inconsistent about it.
They're nice, but they
throw
don't
them
have
in
to
wherever you hear them.
Yeah.
Basically.
But then, in the other part, in the B part or the chorus, there's some special chords that come in. It's going to start on the G shape. Go ahead and play your G shape. And then the next chord after that,
B7.
Yes.
B7
shape with the
Remember the
capo
capo is
on. So that's like a 3 chord.
C.
En route to the 4 chord. 1. And then 1, 6 major. Yep.
E position.
Yep. 2 or 2-7 if you want, and 5. Yes. Let's play a little bit of that with the fiddle, and then I want to show those shapes on the banjo. Real slow, just once round. 1, 2. We thought that those chords sounded kind of sweet, and if you're sick and tired of 1, 4, and 5, they'll make life a little more interesting for this last number. Now, on the banjo, all right, play your G, please. So that shape, the 1, of course, corresponds to the open strings, and then when she plays that B7 shape, go ahead and do it. I recommend a 4th fret bar. Just bar straight across and brush straight across. And if you're playing more chords than melody, it's awfully convenient to take this up. Go ahead and do the 4 chord, 1 fret. Since you're already that high and you're already flattened, you can go from 3 to 4 that way, or you can certainly come down here for the more familiar 4 chord shape. Boy, it's hard to get that into view, isn't it? And then the other chords, do your G shape again, please. Now the E major, that's kind of a weird one for the banjo. You know your 4 chord down here at the 1st and 2nd frets, just move the index over 1 string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, strum. There it is. And then the 2.
And it's I'm not doing the full
Yeah, she's
A
doing the
position.
A7
I'm doing
shape.
1, 2. Like
Yes. On the banjo, I think it's going to be way easier to just do an A, and that's the 2nd fret bar. And then that's going to go to a 5 of your choice. So all the chords are there. That bar is going to come in real handy, and then the 4 chord shape modified a little bit to give you that 6 major. Hope that helps, banjo players. We've really been enjoying playing this tune.
Yeah.
Hope you'll enjoy playing it with us.
I find it, if you do visit a tune that you sing or that you know the words to and everything, it's really helpful to keep the words going in your head.
Yeah.
When you're doing that.
All right, Tennessee Waltz, thanks again for tuning in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Tennessee Waltz in cross A tuning on the fiddle with all
Imagine
those
that.
cool chords
Imagine
on the
that.
guitar.
Imagine that.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Hope those of you in the U.S. are getting ready for a happy Thanksgiving. We're
Safe
trying to
travels.
get in the spirit. Safe travels if you're going to be on the road or in the skies. Not a super fun time of year to be traveling.
Not
Good
really.
luck with all of that. And we will be back with you in another one of these online jams sometime in the coming weeks. We're still sorting out the festive season calendar, wintertime calendar, but
More than likely not before Christmas.
yes, not before Christmas, I think is very safe to say,
Yeah.
but hopefully not super long after.
Yeah.
We understand that people are having a hard time finding some of these archive jams. By the way, Facebook's photo and video storage format seems to have changed a little bit since the last one of these, but they are all still archived on my page and among my video and photo albums. So
Tell them what the surefire way of finding it
the
is.
surefire way of finding it is click on my photos, click on my videos therein, and then scroll through the various thumbnails looking for something like this, where I'm trying to find the right button. I think not every last one of them captures a thumbnail like that, so if you see Beth and me with fiddle and guitar back here, that's probably a jam as well. I don't have too terribly many videos on there that aren't jams, so hopefully you're not going to be searching endlessly and aimlessly.
Right.
But sorry that Facebook is changing all of this around. I guess we're getting what we pay for,
Yeah,
right?
right. Well, so we'll see you in 2025.
Super fun, y'all. Thank you.
All
Be
right, good
well.
night.
Cheers.